Well, it's been a while, and I've made some things. And again, probably not interesting things. But this is Friday Sews. Hello, friends. Welcome back, or welcome if you're new. I'm Mary. This is Love My Crafts, and this is Friday Sews, which was brought to us by Jen. Thank you, Jen, from today's in Jen's sewing room. And I've got a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and one garment that I can remember. It's been weeks, and I'm sorry. I was on vacation, then I had a little surgery, which you're lucky you can't see my foot. It's a very ugly surgical shoe. But, so, all's good. So, let's start with my one garment, shall we? I don't know what did I put a tag? Let me see. I'm assuming that's the back. Okay. So I have this beautiful double brush poly tie-dye. And I made the Ellie and Mac Urban leggings, and I made them in capri. The only thing, I made this it looks kind of too tight. I don't like working with zigzags and stretch, and I don't know. I'm having a hot flash, sorry. Anyway, my pockets came out horrific, but who cares? Because it's probably mostly going to be hanging around the house, sleeping. What did I end up doing with the hem? I know the hem felt funny. Oh, you know what it is? I had done, now it's just a zigzag, I believe. I had done a serge on the edge and then folded it over and hemmed it, but the serge had like a tight stitch in it, and it felt too tight on my legs, and it stretched. So I'm like, no, I cut it off. Made it even shorter. Doesn't bother me. Very soft though, if you could feel a vision. Very soft. So that was those. I don't think there was any other garments. I did work on this. Is this the one? Maybe we're not gonna look at it. Oh, this is just a random one. Scrappy panel. I believe there is a bag in the future for this. It needs some interfacing, some quilting. And then this one I put all my reds and pinks together, and then my yellows and oranges and greens, and then blues and purples. Little rainbow panel. I believe they're both about the same size, so probably be a tote bag. Sorry. I don't have to leave because I don't have to work today. Oh, that brings me to, I got, and I'll put up pictures of anything that's not physically in front of me. I got for Kitty, because she has to go to the vet more often because she has hypothyroidism. So she has to go for blood work, and and I didn't like the carrier. I tried to, it's hard to get her into it. One of those hard plastic ones. So I got a backpack that I leave the side open, and I leave it around for her, and I throw treats in it and some catnip every now and then just to get her used to it. But I wanted to put something on the bottom, and I always throw in like a dog pee pad when we go, and that just gets all crinkled up. So I made a reusable pee pad. I'll tell you what I made it from. And I didn't like, you know when you do something inside out and then you close it up? I did not like the seam lines and all that. So I put on, I've got a positive pants on. And it's very rainbow on both sides. It was just a leftover piece, I believe, of a fleece blanket. Walmart used to have an excellent selection of fleece blankets for like $2. Now they're almost $4, and you can get either paw prints or plaid. That's it. So I had this left over, and it's already got cat hair all over it because she'll lay on it. I don't think it's waterproof yet because you have to wash in hot water, and my washer doesn't do that. It's coin operated. So what it is, I think it's the fleece. It's probably I think it's 2 layers of, they're called U-Haul blankets. They're moving blankets, and they're very, very absorbent. Not sure what they're made out of, but they're very absorbent. And so in the videos that I found for making reusable pee pads, they were highly recommended. So that's that. And it fits a little bit big inside the backpack, so it's got more cushioning, and it'll stay still maybe. And then on that note, I don't even think I have a picture of this because now that it's in its crate, it's messy looking. I have this fabric. I got this fabric as part of my haul, but I've already used it up. It's The Incredibles, but it's fleece, and it was 1.5 yards for like $4. So, and it was the biggest. So I made, my dog is in a 24 by 40, 36, I don't know, crate. And that's what he sleeps in at night because with the seizures, it's safer for him. I don't want him falling off a bed or anything. So, and he hasn't had any, knock on wood, in a while. That's another story that might not be in the last video I did, but that'll go in the life portion, maybe, if I remember. So he's in this crate, and I always throw a blanket in there, those blankets I was just talking about. But I wanted to make it so, because sometimes he does have a seizure and it's instant accident. So I said, well, let me put something absorbent in there. Maybe because it's thicker, he won't flop it all over the place. Because he does like to lay his blanket out flat, but he also messes it up a lot, like scrunches it up. So I made one. I think I did 2 layers with that one too. And I just did the front and the back with all the Incredibles fabric. And it fit. My measurements must have been off because it's a little bit too skinny. But it fits and it lays flat. And so far he's pretty much left it alone. And I think he likes the cushion because it's just a plastic tray. You know, and I want him to, and every time I've ever tried to put a bed in there, he's ripped it up. So I figure if I stitch this really good and he doesn't rip it up, maybe we'll graduate to a waterproof bed. We'll see. So I did make that. And then I made some for my sister, and I'll pop up the pictures. She has 2 carriers for her cats, and I don't know if she puts, no, neither one of the dogs goes in the carrier, but she has 2 different carriers for her cats. So she gave me the measurements, and I made 2, and I will give her those today. And that was with some tie-dye fleece that I got from Walmart, which is super cozy and very pretty. And I did flannel on one side, fleece on the other, 2 layers of the blankets in between. Because she does have, I think she has one that always has an accident in the carrier. So let's see, that's what I made of those. What did I make? You can tell that I was holding, oh my goodness. I've been on a crusade, totally off subject. Kitty has mats in her fur because this medicine makes her lazy and all she does is lay around and she doesn't groom herself that much. So I just found a pile of hair on my arm, and I probably got there from this, but there's piles of hair everywhere because I try to chase her with the brush. I have scratches all over my arms. I try to chase her and I try to get some of the mats out, and she gets real nasty. She yells at me. So then I stop and I try again later. Needless to say, there's cat fur everywhere, and she doesn't even come in here anymore. Okay, I think that's everything I made. If I think of anything else, I'll pop it up either now or at the end. And then I went on vacation, and I went to Maine, and they have Martin's there, which is it's like a liquidation type store, but they have aisles and aisles of fabric. I mean, more aisles, more fabric than you'd ever see in Joann's. It's mostly cotton, quilting cotton. They have a section that might be garment fabric, but it's all in those giant rolls, and it doesn't say what it is. So you basically would have to like move through all these rolls, and it was high up, and I said no. My shoulder was killing me. I said I'm not gonna do that. But oh, I was so overwhelmed. So overwhelmed just walking through the aisles. I think they were by color, and there was so much. I couldn't even get what I wanted. I just, they always have, and they hide it because they do it by color. They had some Tula pink. And like this was in the, I don't know what section, color section, and then there was the butterfly one was in the orange section. So Tula pink was spread out everywhere. And what did I get of this? 1 yard, $5.99. And my daughter loves Alice in Wonderland, so it has all the stuff on there from, I'll think of his name. What's his name? Johnny Depp plays him in the movie. What's his name? Does he have a name? Mad Hatter. Thank you. Thanks for yelling that at me because it was not coming to me. And then, this is really cute. I got this for me. This is only a half yard though, because I figure maybe a liner or a bag. It's all sewing machines. I don't have my glasses on, so I could be upside down, or they go both ways. Okay. $3.99 a yard. No, $5.99 a yard. So this cost me $3. And then this beautiful print. I got a yard of this. I should have gotten more, but I was really like so overwhelmed. $5.99. It doesn't have, oh yeah, it does. What is it? Let's see. Come on. It is Studio Fabric. StudioFabrics.net. Pattern number 5760. Oh, how cute the selvage is. I'm gonna have to use it. It has bugs and worms on it, I think. That's so cute. So pretty and colorful. And it could even go with this. This could be the liner for whatever this is. I don't know. I don't have any plans. And then, sorry. And then this caught my eye. Oh, it's upside down. Bob Ross. I would think everybody knows who he is, but if not, he had a show, kind of like Nancy Zeman did, but his was painting. What was it called? The Joy of Painting, I think. And he would teach you how to paint. And he had this very soothing voice. Oh. A lot of people still watch him just for the calming effect. And he would paint these beautiful pictures. And this piece, I'm probably gonna make something for my sister's boyfriend because he loves Bob Ross. I don't know. But this piece shows a lot of his pictures. And he would paint beautiful sceneries, and he would tell you how to paint the trees. And he's the one who said, "No, there's no mistakes, only happy accidents." And I just couldn't resist. No need for it, but it's so cute. And I really don't, actually, if you've seen the movie, there's a movie about him, not the one that has like Owen Wilson in it or something. There's a movie, I think it's on Netflix, called The Joy of Painting or something about painting. And it's about the son of Bob Ross, talks about him. But because of some baloney, they're not supposed to use, the people that were his managers or whatever, they own the name. So I hate to buy anything that has his name on it, because I know somehow they profit from it, and I really don't want them to, but I love Bob Ross. So it's a rock and a hard place. But that was from Martin's, and I did get a yard of fusible fleece, which I don't think it was that cheap, but it was just there and I knew I needed it. And of course I got this fleece, and there was so much more fleece I wanted to get because I want to make some more of these, but I was just overwhelmed. And then the last time I was at Walmart, I don't know if I showed you this, but I got this really pretty butterfly fabric. am I going to use it for? I don't know. I can't get garment fabric yet. I haven't checked the websites. Michael says they have it, and I can find one thing I like. This other place, like Fabric Mart, will have a sale, and I'll find one thing I like. And I go to all these sites and I find one thing, and I need to find a mixture of knits and wovens all on one site so I don't get stuck with the shipping. Okay, so that's the haul. The things I've made. I have no plans. I sat here last night and I just stared into space. I don't know what to make. I worked a little bit on my kitty quilts, but and then I was going to do the dice, but I don't have anything that's not fall or winter related, so I will have to wait for that. I do plan, I was going to do a tutorial on something, and maybe, hopefully I wrote it down. So much time has passed, I don't remember, and I'm sorry. So, on to life. So before vacation, I actually had to cut my little vacation short because, I've said this before, my dog has seizures, and they've been getting, I guess they've been getting worse in the sense that he'll have 2 or 3 in a row, and he always has a little cough afterwards, which is a normal symptom, but he had one, he had 2 in the matter of a few days, maybe a week, and they were in the middle of the day instead of in the middle of the night. So they were in the wide open in the house. He almost fell off the chair. I had to lift him off a chair to make sure he didn't hurt himself. And another one, he went into the kitchen. He was acting funny for about a half an hour and nervous and shaky, and he went into the kitchen and just dropped, and he had one that wouldn't end, and he was very strange afterwards, and then he was coughing up blood until the next day. So I brought him to an emergency place, which was not cheap, and his lungs were fine. So that is a side effect of a seizure. They have a cough, and sometimes it can be because they aspirated, so I had to make sure his lungs were okay. So his lungs were fine, but they said we needed to get more control over the seizures themselves. So we had just been to the vet that week and talked to the vet about adding phenobarbital to his already the seizure medicine he had. So of course they wanted to do this at the emergency hospital. They wanted to give him a loading dose. They tried to say they needed to keep him overnight. I said, why do you have to keep him overnight? Well, we like to keep an eye on him, make sure he's okay. I'm like, can I just take him home and keep an eye on him? I have opinions about that, but anyway. So they said, okay, we'll keep him for a couple hours. So me and my sister went off, we got something to eat. Then we come back and they say, oh, he's ready. Okay. Poor thing, could not even walk because it makes them very, very drunk-like. And he was walking into the glass door before I could even get out of there. And he couldn't sit still. So it not only made him topsy-turvy, it also made him a little bit hyper. So getting home was a little crazy. So anyway, that's a big, long story for nothing. He's on this medication, and then he had to continue taking it, and it's a very strict medication. It has to be taken every 12 hours, or they could have a seizure. It's very scary. So this was on a, this was on a Friday, and I was supposed to leave the following Saturday, so a week later. So it was hard to watch him during the day because during the day he's in the crate, so he can't be getting into any trouble. He's not going to fall down or whatever. So on the weekend, we were watching him. He was still acting very wobbly. He was a little aggressive. He had, not to be gross, but diarrhea. So I couldn't send him off to daycare. He can't play with the dogs if he's falling down and all that stuff. So we waited. I think we waited. We were supposed to leave on Saturday. We left on Tuesday. We cut a little bit out of Maine. We only stayed in Maine one day, and then we went to New Hampshire and went on the scenic railroad to see all of the different mountains and hear a lot of history about that, which was very interesting. And see the Saco River, which if you've ever been to New Hampshire, the Saco River is beautiful. I think it's in Maine too. So that was that. Came back from that. He did okay at daycare. His symptoms are slowly getting better now. He doesn't wobble. He doesn't trip over his own back feet anymore. He still acts a little funny with aggression if you try to take his toy, but he's getting better with that. In the meantime, I had on Friday that just passed, I had surgery on my ankle to remove just it's like a fatty tumor, whatever, lipoma. So I've been doing a lot of napping, not much sewing. I just finished up my sister's things, and that's why I can't decide what to do, because if I had plans, they got all messed up with being on vacation and everything. So I have plenty of time, and I've been yapping up a storm, doing a lot of catch up, and I think I've got it all. I think I remembered it all. But I know I had started to go through my project and craft patterns to see what I wanted to make. And then I got distracted by putting this stuff together and by making those pea pads. So I don't think I had decided on any particular craft. Maybe a tote bag. Not that I need one. Who needs another one? But I like to make them. So, or maybe some gifts. I'll see if I can come up with any gifts and just start my Christmas sewing early. Till I can find something. I don't even, what am I wearing today? Ready to wear. From JCPenney, which I heard is closing also. I don't even know if that's true. Don't believe me. So I guess that does it for me for Friday Sews. And hopefully I will be back with either a tutorial or next week to tell you that I've sewn more items, whether they be crafty, useful, or garments. Who knows? In the meantime, I hope you're sewing and I hope you're making lots of stuff. Let me know. Sorry about the air conditioner. See that blink? Let me know in the comments what you're making and if you're in a slump like I am. I'll talk to you soon, hopefully. Bye for now.